Hello guys, Sue Jarrett speaking. Welcome to 200th episode special of Bedtime Stories. And today, before we begin our stories, I'm not going to read too much about books today. We'd like to give you a celebration of Happy 4th of July. Now before I read you the two books, I was going to do 3 today, but I decided to do 2 today. We'd like to give you to wish you all a happy 4th of July. Okay? But today I'm going to eat, let's just say, the 2 cupcakes now. I was going to do all the desserts in one day. But with the 4th of July, I decided to not do all of them in one day. So today let's eat 2 cupcakes today. So let's have it now. Shall we? So we got for us. And then we'll probably read 2 books today. And then we'll end off with a bang. So, there you go. It's a messy thing thanks to one of Rocky's daughters. If he's watching now, I have no idea what to begin with, you know? So yeah, this might be it. 200 episode of Bedtime Stories. It's a treat for you guys. And after this, I am going to rate this cupcakes. And we'll read 2 of the most books. So there you go. On that. It is tiresome in the moment, so there you go. Delicious. Anyway, one more cupcake and I'm so done with this. Wow. Man. I mean, she's like me when I was young. I'm giving these cupcakes a 10 out of 10 overall. I'm sorry, but these cupcakes look ill like that, but change the 5 ratings. Give it like a 0. I'm sorry, but tired of this. Anyway. But anyway, today we'll read you 2 books today. A little gold book on Our Flag. This is a classic, and then we'll read you the real 200th episode of Bedtime Stories on Toy Story 4, Barney's First Day of School. Now, let's read Our Flag now. See what we got, shall we? See what we got for us. So first for Americans up there. But anyway, to celebrate the 4th of July, the Declaration of Independence. But anyway, Our Flag is written by Carl Memling, illustrated by Stephen Cook. Anyway, seen here in the picture seen here, so there you go on that. Anyway, copyright 1960, revealed in 1988, all rights reserved in Random House. But anyway, every country has its own flag. Anyway, when the ship has seized flags its own flag, okay, the ship is saying, "I'm coming from America." America, excuse me. When you carry our flag, you are saying, "I'm an American," which I am, by the way. But our flag did not always look the ways it looks today. Makes sense in a way, so very good on that. And I'm sorry for the cupcakes in the background. But, but please ignore that. But the thing is, it really is amazing for the American flag. So, there you go on that. Next page. Anyway, once a long time ago, the people of America have made flags. Different flags. Excuse me, book. Anyway, they live in the 13 separate colonies and each county has its own flag. This boy flag meant I'm from Maryland. Wow. Okay, watch this Marshall or whoever you are. Anyway, it's for you. But anyway, Maryland's one only part in a big country that was to be the United States of America. Makes sense in any way. But I've never been to Maryland before in my life. But that's just me, of course. But that's just me. I wonder what year this came out. But anyway, next page. Anyway, the 30 colonies was ruled by the King of England. Wow, okay. They did not like being ruled by the king who lived so far away. Okay? They wanted to rule themselves, but first they had to fight with the war against the British. Okay? In the early days of the Revolutionary War, how do you pronounce this word? Sorry. The Americans still carried their old flags into battle, okay? They needed one flag that would stand for all the Americans fighting for freedom together. A drawing was made and showing flag color red, white, and blue, okay? There were 13 red and white stripes, okay? And 13 white stars in a field of blue, okay? The American flag was to have a star and the stripes for each one of the 13 colonies, okay? Makes sense in any way, flag. It has to do something about this. Next page. Anyway, who threw up first flag? No one really knows. But some people believe it was Bessie Ross. Wow. They say she was took to some of the balls of cloth and cut 13 white stripes. Excuse me, smoke anyway. She cut 13 white stars and one white stripe. Excuse me, square blue. Wow, okay. Makes sense anyway. And then Bessie Ross began to sue, okay? At last, the first stripes were finished. It's a beautiful flag, said General George Washington, who was the President of the United States at the time. But anyway, we saw it. Wow, makes sense in any way, even though it's good enough. So there you go on that, even though George Washington is our first president of the United States. So there you go. Back in 1776. In 1777, United States of America had our first president. Next page. Anyway, the new flag was carried into battle the first time when the American ship Ranger met a British warship at sea. Okay? It was a hard fight, but the Ranger won. Wow. The American soldiers fought many battles against the British. Okay? Makes sense anyway. The last one is at Yorktown in Virginia, which I've been to Virginia once. The Americans have won the war, okay? Now the world has a new country, the United States of America, which is good enough. And it's going to be enough for our country since 1776. And that's a good idea for our country. So there you go on that. Next page. Anyway, new country began to grow. 2 new states joined it, and 2 more stars and 2 more stripes were added to the flag. The United States and England fought the War of 1812. Okay, the brand new flag was 15 stars and 15 stripes, way about Fort McHenry near Baltimore, Maryland. Okay. All through the night, British warships fixed their cannons at the fort, okay? But the flag did not go down, okay? The American soldiers will not surrender, okay? And they won the battle, okay? Every country has its own song. Our country's song is the Star Spangled Banner, which is mad to me at the time. But anyway, let's tell the story that's told here. The story of the flag is that was still flying with more came in at the Fort McHenry at the time. So there you go. It makes sense in any way. So just It was a catchy song, so there you go. But we'll regret it. But anyway. Next page. Anyway, more states joined the country, but more stripes on the flag would have made it look too crowded. Wow. Okay, then. Something had to be done. It was decided that the flag should always have 13 stripes, one for each of the 13 original counties. Wow. Every time a new state joined, another star was added to the flag, okay? And our country grew very quickly. When the American people saw how many stars their flag soon had, they were very proud. I have to agree with this flag. They need to do something about this. You know? That's just me, of course. Next page. Anyway, the war broke out between the states of the North and the states of the South. Okay? The soldiers of the South carried it on the flag into battle, okay? It was called the Flag Confederacy, okay? The North won the war. And again, the country has one flag. The stars and the stripes, okay? Makes sense in any way. So there you go with that. Even though it's a war against it, England to the United States. So that makes more sense in any way to be more independent. So there you go. Next page. Anyway, America grew and grew. And last it has 48 states. Now the flag has 48 stars. Okay? This was when your great-great-grandfather was a boy. Now at the time, yes. Now that we are Americans, back then, I was a man becoming the American straight, with 50 stripes, so what we're going to do about it? Let's find out, okay? Many years later, during World War II, American Marines won a famous battle on the island called Iwo Jima, okay? The year was 1945, okay? And the victory flag, what they raised, that has still had over 48 years, stars, excuse me, okay, anyway. It makes sense in a way, so they won it in 1945, so there you go. From 1776 until 1945. It makes sense in a way, so you need to add 2 more stars during Earth Day 1970. Okay? Next page. Anyway. 13 years after the Iwo Jima, it's in 1958. It can make more sense. Anyway. Alaska became the 49th state. The next year, in 1959, which my dad was born, Hawaii became the 50th state, okay? Today, our flag has 50 states. 50 stars, excuse me. Okay, anyway. Our stars for each of the 50 states, and it's on 13 stripes. One for each of the 13 original colonies. And the stars and stripes of our flag tell the story of America, from the very start until today. Exactly, flag. At least do something about this, you know? This country is good enough for us. So there you go. My addition to this flag is at least do something about us Americans. So there you go. There's 3 more pages left in the book, stating that follow these rules when you carry out and fly the flag. Hold the flag high. Do not let it touch with the ground before water. Anyway, I have to read, when hanging the flag flat against the wall, you must be on the top and the flag's on right. But yeah, it makes more sense. Anyway, okay. Flying at the very top of the pole, which makes sense anyway. The blue square, known as the Union on top. Take it down at sunset and fall it neatly. Okay, makes more sense. Anyway, there are 3 special times when the flag must be saluted. When you see it being raised and lowered, okay? When we are singing Star Spangled Banner, which makes more sense. Man. Anyway, the flags pass by a parade, okay? And when you salute the flag, stand as straight as you can. A boy takes off his hat and holds it over his heart and with his right hand. Why? I don't get it. A girl leaves her hat on, but she holds her right hand over her heart. Again, why? Those are the things I like besides wearing my long hair. Different from all the things like that, but that's just me. Anyway, here comes the last page of the book saying, Pledge is a promise. Now, I don't accept Pledge Allegiance at the time, so nowadays, well, back then I used to love Pledge Allegiance, but now, not anymore at the time. We wanted to do something right for Pledge Allegiance at the time, so there you go. Saying, I pledge allegiance, and then rock goes on, rock and roll style. But anyway, when the boys and girls at school pledge allegiance to the flag, they promise to be good Americans. Now, singing as a rock and roll theme will be good enough to be school, but this, no, I don't get that. Sorry. The Pledge of Allegiance said this. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to a republic which... Unfortunately, I don't want to read this part, fortunately, and the rest of it. No, I don't have time for that. So there you go. That's the rest of this book, so there you go. And that was our flag. What do I think about this book? I think I love being American. So, unfortunately, for this, the Pledge of Allegiance part is not a good idea. So there you go. And that is it for that book. Now let's move on to Toy Story 4, Barney's First Day of School. Now, before I mention that book, and I want to read you this, give you a fun fact, okay? In 2019, I read you that book in a book reviews, Elshman book reviews back then. And then now, I want to read you this part of Bedtime Stories, okay? That'll be more specific and correctly font, okay? Press those and over 30 stickers, okay? Barney's First Day of School, okay? I'm not sure what it's written by, but that's just me. Anyway. I had to make Forky, excuse me. Barney's First Day of School by Judy Kaskiski, however you pronounce it. Illustrated by the Disney Storybook Art Team. Published by a Random House Picture Bad Book. Copyright 2019, all rights reserved. But anyway, makes sense in any way. But, you know, that's just me, of course. But anyway. Every day was a special day in Bonnie's room, okay? But today was every extra special. It was her first day at kindergarten, okay? Bonnie's new toy, Forky, was going as well. You, my friend, have a very important mission. Buzz Lightyear told Forky, make sure Bonnie has a great day at kindergarten. Okay? It makes sense to anybody, you know? That's not in the movie, unfortunately. I mean, I felt worried for Barney, you know? He needs to do something about this. Next page. Anyway. Forky could be... Oh, man. Could see that Barney was nervous. She was quiet. She could be barely eating her first day of school pancakes. Wow. What if I make any friends in the kindergarten? Wow. Barney asked, poking her food. Wow. Oh, man. Her mom reminded her that she made only one really good friend during the office class, okay? At kindergarten orientation, Forky. Wow, okay. Makes sense. That gave Forky a great idea. Okay? Friends. 45 on the way to the car. Okay? Friends will make it a good first day of kindergarten. Forky waved goodbye to the rest of Buddy's toys. He couldn't wait until tell them all about the new friends she was going to make at school. Okay? Makes sense in any way. So I was mumbling myself, but okay, makes sense in any way. So there you go. And fireworks in the background, please ignore that, but that's me, of course. But anyway. Next page. Anyway. I don't know why she take Woody, but that's me, of course. Bonnie hugged her mom and dad to the door and say hello to her teacher, Miss Wendy. Kind of reminds me of Miss Wendy from Peter Pan. Anyway, while Bonnie was sitting at her table, Forky noticed a girl standing nearby. He had to act fast. Whoa! Forky made himself tumble out of the backpack and fell off the floor with a chair. The girl gasped when she saw him. He's so cool. He named his Forky, Bonnie said. Then using her Forky voice, she announced, and this is Bonnie. She made me. Bonnie's first kindergarten friend, Forky thought. Okay, makes sense in any way. Okay. Friends are that's what friends are for, you know? Makes sense in any way, so there you go. Next page. Anyway, Miss Wendy gathered the students for circle time. Wow, okay. And one by one, Bonnie's new classmates introduced themselves. Well, okay. And share what they have done over the summer. Wow. Forky knew Bonnie was nervous. While no one was looking, Forky scooted across the table and jumped onto the top of the pile of books. Okay. Just a little further, okay? It was almost Bonnie's turn. When she noticed Forky, she smiled brightly, okay? Makes sense in any way. Anyway, I'm Bonnie, she told the class. And over the summer, I took a road trip to my parents and all my toys. Based on the movie from 2019. It makes difference, but okay, it makes sense in any way. So there you go on that. Next page. Anyway, next it was time to practice counting. Miss Wendy had a big box of different items for the students to count. Okay. Bonnie wrapped one of Forky's pipe cleaners, hands, and 2 different type color pencils. Okay. Then she wrapped his other hand around one more. Bonnie counted the pencils 1, 2, 3. She did such a great job counting them that Miss Wendy gave her a gold sticker. You know, Miss Wendy's good. Is a nice kindergarten teacher. You know, it makes sense to me. So there you go on that. It just makes sense in any way. So there you go. Okay, next page. Anyway, at lunchtime, Forky jumped into Bonnie's lunchbox, okay? When he made a spoon, okay? Let's help Bonnie have a first day at kindergarten lunch. Forky said it was his new friend. Okay, Toy Story difference. Anyway, spoon didn't answer, but then it was okay. Okay then. Forky knew everyone's a little shy at the first day of kindergarten. Okay? Forky grabbed a banana and some raisins he got to work. Wow. I don't know when this happened. Did you really want to play with your food? Seriously? When Bonnie pulled out her sandwich, she laughed at her classmates, gathered around to see the silly face Forky had created of her food. And soon, they all wanted a silly face sandwich with just like Bonnie. Okay? Makes sense in any way. It's just Toy Story 4, ladies and gentlemen. Makes sense in any way for Bonnie and Forky. You know, that's me, of course. Next page. Anyway, after lunch, Miss Wendy asked if anyone wanted the favorite book they wanted to share. One kid wanted to read a dinosaur book, and another one wanted to read a book about ballerina. Okay. Forky hopped up the shelf and found a book that Bonnie loved to read with her mom and dad. He pushed the book until it fell in the bump and caught Bonnie's attention. It's about a ballerina dinosaur. It makes more sense in any way, even though it's reading time for them. You know, makes sense in any way. And sorry we're going to see anything for Bonnie, so there you go on that. Next page. Anyway. Okay. Then the classmates wanted to play with puppets. Now at the time, I was only 8 and I had to play with puppets, you know. That's just me. And one of those things, Talking Lunchbox and things like that. That was a good idea, you know, like, not like zombies, you know, that's just me. Anyway, but after everyone has chosen a puppet, there aren't any left for the one boy. Okay. I have an idea. Bonnie whispered to Forky. She gave her puppet to the boy and made Forky a brown paper hat and an eye patch. Soon everyone cheered for Captain Forky. Wow. Okay. Makes sense anyway. Oh, wow. The pilot of kindergarten. Okay. Kindergarten was awesome, but Forky was a little tired. He had done so many things, and now it was time to recess. They met every new more things. I could use a little kindergarten nap, he thought. Okay, excuse me. Makes sense anyway, so there you go on that. So, there you go, the answers to the questions. So, there you go. Kind of reminds me of the Disney thing, but you know, that's me. To Forky's surprise, Bonnie placed him on a shelf above the cubbies, okay? See you later, Forky, she whispered. Bonnie's going to recess without me, Forky thought. If she's going lonely, how can I be sure she's making friends if I'm hearing she's outside? Well, at the time, yes, Forky. You have to do something inside. Yeah. And inside the building, you know. Otherwise, you'll be lonely. And the principal will watch you. So, why not bother, you know? And Bonnie and the classmates, you had to be friends. And she was happy for you. You know? Try being your best. You know, best to me, of course. Next page. Anyway, Forky was about to sneak out when she heard Bonnie's laughing. Wow. He pressed his face about the windows and she saw her smiling and playing with her friends. Her new friends, that is. Bonnie's doing great all at home. Forky fought it, okay? After recess, Bonnie joined her class in singing the goodbye song. When it ended, she grabbed Forky from the shelf and put him in a backpack. And come on, Forky, Bonnie whispered, we're going home. Home? That meant kindergarten was done and Forky's mission was complete. Wow, makes sense anyway for Forky. So there you go. It was helpful. It makes sense anyway for the kindergarten classroom. So there you go. Next page. Anyway, once they got to Bonnie's house, she dropped her backpack off in her room, skipped to the kitchen for an after-school snack. Her toys gathered around Forky. They couldn't wait for her hear all about kindergarten. Bonnie's made so many friends, Forky said, and she had the best sandwich at lunch. And I played a pirate in the play, and then he got out with yawn and was so about the rest of his eyes. When what? Toy Story toys. It makes sense in a way. And why is Jessie in the sheriff thing? But okay, I can get that. But that's just me, of course. Anyway. Yeah, she's not in the sheriff thing. Anyway. Next page. Anyway. The toys heard Bonnie shouting down the hall, okay? Forky and I can't wait to go to kindergarten tomorrow. And the next day, and the day after that, tomorrow, Forky yelped. Oh, wow. He thought about all the adventures they have. And another day at kindergarten will be fun as long as he could take a nice long nap first. And that was it, you know? At least do something about it, Forky. You know? Do something about it. So that was it, you know? And that was Forky, Bonnie's first day of school. But anyway, what I think about this book? I think it was amazing. So far, this book was a successful one. And that was the Bedtime Stories, episode number 200. This is a 200 episode special. Hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned for the next one's gonna be episode 201. My little golden book about George Washington. Now, which we read during the 200th episode. But I'm gonna read the 201st episode. Now, excuse me, I have to get ready to sleep and rest my eyes and things like that, just to make sure everybody's okay and things like that. So, there you go. Till next time, this is Joe's Bye Piece of Paper. We give over this episode. Till Wednesday out. See ya.